Hello, 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 and welcome to the show. This is Wrestling with Entertainment. I'm, as always, James J. With me, my co-host and trusted companion, Kaliko Yachts.
Still trying to save face for Sonata, hopefully, but but I know it ain't gonna happen.
The,
Hello, world.
yeah, it's time to, shoot that
Yeah.
horse.
Maybe a Hyundai Sonata.
Yeah, that's the only Sonata that's gonna be.
And we have a special guest friend of the show, the unofficial fifth member of Wrestling with Entertainment from Dust Busted, Scooter Dust.
Thank you, and let it be known I'm not that special. Only my mother says so.
Well, you know. You know.
Well, we got that in common then.
I'm not God. That's just a rumor my mother started.
Just starting the show on a quick bad note. The shootings in Texas and Cleveland. Thoughts and prayers go out to all those people.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's
Just
sad.
a terrible thing that happened.
just sad. I just hope people now, like, when they see stuff, just say something, man, because you never know, like, that one impact, like, of interacting with people could alter, like, or prevent a lot of things. And
Yeah. Shout out to Kaliko's son.
Yep.
And now from really, really bad news to really, really good news. If you've been watching us up to this point, we're 27 episodes deep in this already. You've been watching us and supporting us on YouTube every Saturday evening. But now you can find us on Castbox for the first time ever. This is the first episode we'll be doing and airing on Castbox. Thank you for that. We'll still be on YouTube. You'll still be able to see all our great content on YouTube, but from this point on, we will also be on Castbox. So, yeah, we're moving up in the world.
Yep. Started from the bottom, then we get a little higher.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop whoop.
And making a what?
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 Huh?
What?
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 Huh?
Happened.
He's a heel. Okay, time to stop this. Time to get on to the show. Because this might be the first time some people will be joining us, we'll be covering the New Japan G1 Climax tournament. If you've been watching us on YouTube, you've been with us for all 20 dates at this point.
And all the horrible picks.
Yes. And we will be previewing SummerSlam. Obviously, right now, as we speak, NXT TakeOver is going on, so we won't be covering that. We'll be reviewing it next week.
Yeah, because this is a big deal for TakeOver, because it's a lot of turnover that looks like it's going to happen.
Yeah, and again, we'll be covering that next week. But for right now, we are wrestling with the G1 Climax Night 14. It is B block action. And the first match out was Juice Robinson lost to Taichi in 12 minutes and 28 seconds with the Black Mephisto. Juice Robinson is at 3 wins, 4 losses, 6 points, and Taichi's at 3 wins, 4 losses, 6 points.
And both men are out of contention.
No, at this point in the G1, they were still in contention.
At this point, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, but they're out. But I will say this. Taichi had the G1 of his life. Boy, there's some people like having career years at this G1, and he's one of them. To beat Naito, Juice, those are two prominent names in the freaking New Japan at this point. So
I mean, Juice Robinson, it seems like this was a winnable match for him, and he could have went one more match higher than he did the last 2 years, and he just can't seem to get it done.
But I think he was looking. I can make the case he was probably looking towards the next match, which is the most, because to him that's the most important match in this whole tournament. The match with Mox is probably the most important match. That's probably more important than winning a G1 to him at this point. I mean, remember we were talking like he could have been where it could have been him versus Mox for the G1.
Yeah.
He started out really, really strong, and then he just kind of like faltered to the wayside. And he just kind of got into a little funk, and now he sees the big prize that to him in the front of him, and he's looking past everything else.
I have a love-hate relationship with Juice Robinson. Like,
yeah,
back in Long Beach, the first night of the G1 special, I was on the fence, didn't really like Juice Robinson, didn't really have a reason to root for Juice Robinson. But he wrestled Zack Sabre Jr., and as you know, I don't like him. So, for Juice Robinson back then, I was like, okay, beat Zack and I'll like you. I'll be your fan. And he couldn't get the job done. And fast forward, 2 years?
2 years?
And I was like the same thing. Taichi, you could win this match. And again, he couldn't get the job done.
Yeah, but I just think he's looking. I can see him losing to Taichi because he's looking towards the next match. Because you got to think about it, he started off hot, and as his Armageddon got closer and closer, you can make the argument he kind of took his eye off the ball.
Yeah, I mean, considering his following 2 matches were going to be against 2 of his most heated rivals.
True.
Yeah, true.
But
yeah,
think going into those matches, they could have given him a win.
True, because we were thinking that he was going to be the final. We thought he was going to have at least 10 and be in a contention for it.
Yeah.
So it's very disappointing considering how hot he started and how he just came back to earth.
Next match, Hiroki Goto defeated Jeff Cobb in 11 minutes and 20 seconds with a GTR. Goto is at 4 wins, 3 losses, 8 points. Jeff Cobb is at 3 wins, 4 losses, 6 points. I mean, comeback story, even more so than Jay White, Goto.
Yeah, because remember, he got the 1 win over White, and then he just was off to the wayside, and then he slowly built himself up, and now you see him, and he's still in it. So
I don't know. Goto seems to do well in these tournaments.
I mean, he's won it before. So
and I mean, some would say his last, considering his last match in B block is gonna be against one of the competitors in last place. Some would say that's an easy victory.
Not against Shingo Takagi. Shingo Takagi is a brick wall you have to run into.
Yeah, but I think Takagi at this point, he's like disappointed. I think with Scooter, he has a point that it should be an easy win, but considering like how Takagi just been post match, where he just wants to beat the shit out of people at this point because he realizes that his shot is gone. So I think he's more hell bent on playing spoiler, and that could be a spoiler.
It's true. Next match, John Moxley lost to Jay White in 15 minutes and 15 seconds with the Blade Runner. Moxley's at 5 wins, 2 losses, 10 points. Jay White's at 4 wins, 3 losses, 8 points. This is my guy. I say, Jay White winning the block, winning the whole shebang.
Yeah, he came a long way from how he started, boy. Ooh, like him and Sonata were in the dumps, but for some odd reason, Jay just damn you, Gato. Anyway, but I do want to hear what Scooter got to say because it's very curious how they treat like the gaijins in the tournament, and they usually have like that one that's like in the running. And do you think like Jay has a legit shot of winning this whole thing now?
Now, given the the current stand, keep in mind we're only talking about night 14, but and there are 2 more nights of taking place after this. But given the state of the remaining 4 that are in contention in B block, I'm gonna go on the record here, and I'm gonna say, just based on the way they got this set up, with White and Naito being the final match of the actual round robin tournament, that match alone, I guarantee is going to determine the winner of B block.
I agree. Well, I agree with you there. But yeah, Jay White. If Jay White wins, he'll win. Naito, if he wins. If they tie, maybe Moxley or Goto wins. It's kind of up in the air. So even if that is the last match, like a couple years back, the main event was Tanahashi versus Okada, and the winner of that block was Goto. So, Goto's been able to sneak in there before.
That is a good point.
That's a good point. But I would say, depending on who I say the winner of the A block to me determines the B block. Because if I see Ibushi winning, I can see a Jay White winning and winning the whole thing. If I see Okada winning, I see me personally, I would think a Moxley would win. Because if they're going to put Mox against Okada at any point in his run, this would have to be it.
Champion against champion.
Yeah. And Okada wins the whole thing and picks his contender.
I disagree with that because, New Japan's always been incredibly smart with booking their matches. And Jericho didn't come out of the gates and wrestle Okada immediately. They saved that for a big event like Dominion. You know what I mean?
I get that, but I'm just also factoring in the whole like his AEW commitment as well in this, because that's gonna be a big factor as far as like his scheduling. And now that we see that AEW is going to be a weekly show running weekly tours, that's a bigger impact than what I thought it would be. Because I was thinking, okay, they're just going to do one show a week, don't tour, but they're doing one show a week touring, and then they're also probably going to do a couple of house shows here and there. So that's a huge difference schedule-wise for him to be flying back and forth to Japan.
True, but it's whoever pays him more money, in my opinion.
Well, either way, he's good. He's the hottest fucking free agent, and he's the hottest dude that came out. Let the people tell him.
Yeah, and it's been a while since we've had Scooter on the show. I'd just like to have your take on John Moxley and New Japan and AEW. What are your thoughts on
Well,
his run so far?
first I gotta do my AEW. No.
Hey, did Mitch just join the chat?
Hey, yo, Mitch, I'm here. No, I'm not.
Oh,
No.
No. I mean, it's very difficult to say that somebody finds success post WWE. I mean, Jericho.
Jericho's Jericho.
Yeah.
yeah.
And honestly, I mean, okay, maybe you can make the case for Johnny Impact, John Morrison.
No, you couldn't.
All right. But other than that, I cannot think of any superstar that has had success post WWE after leaving on their own terms and actually had success. John Moxley is the first case of this ever happening.
Well, Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
I mean, Cody.
Okay,
but you know what? I'll agree with him at this point that Mox is the first to do it in his prime. See, there's a difference.
Yeah, on top.
See,
yeah, he was a top draw lead, and he was able to maintain that.
Yeah, that like Cody was like a blip on the WWE radar, and then he went and made a name.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, he went from being Dean Ambrose to going right back to being John Moxley and losing none of that momentum.
Yeah.
Right. And I'll give him that. Like, for him to do that, and in the fact that he's still in his prime, that just tells you, like, you could tell that he left just for the love of the wrestling. Like, the money is not really the end all be all.
Because he could have kept that cozy, safe style of wrestling.
Yeah, and that style is hella safe. Not less taxing on the body and so on and so forth. So that just lets you know he was more into the art form of it, and takes a lot of balls from him to do it, and it's paid off for him because he signed with two companies that one was already making an inroad in America, but the second one, hot start, up and coming, and he just basically lit a torch under both.
I mean, the match alone with Ishii knocked a couple of years off his career.
Yeah, that. A lot of those New Japan matches, like, kind of put some dents in it, because most of his matches in New Japan, with the exception of, I want to say, one or two, were like really brawls. I think Tagachi was probably the first one match where he actually wrestled.
Yeah.
Wrestle. So, I mean, it helps him out, that he don't have to do it every night. So, and plus he's in his prime, he can take it.
Yeah. Next match, Tatsuya Naito defeated Shingo Takagi in 27 minutes and 15 seconds with the Destino. Naito's at 4 wins, 3 losses, 8 points. Shingo Takagi 2 wins, 5 losses, 4 points. Shingo's definitely eliminated at this point.
Yep, that was the point where he realized he was eliminated. But Naito, boy, he had to pull it out of his ass for this, because considering he started off losing to Taichi and Yano, and he had nothing but tough sledding.
You could say that he had a harder run than Jay White at this point.
Yeah, because I mean, just based on the scheduling. Because you remember when we were looking at the schedule in the first beginning, and Scooter, you can chime in on this. Like Yano and Taichi were literally buys for a guy of Naito's status, and for him to take them losses, it was rough. He had to come up.
Well, at this point, Naito's he's not green. He's got the experience, and one has to assume at this point he's willing to, he's proven himself to be, New Japan loyal, and to work with, the talent that might not do so well, in the tournament. Just think about the fact that Yano gets to say, "Oh, I'm one of the few who actually beat Naito during the G1 Climax." It's the impact of being able to say that
That's true.
that I think means more than anything to the lower performing superstars.
Yeah, I get that because after this tournament, he's got at least 3 people he need to be defending that title against, let alone if he gets the briefcase. So
Yeah, he all around not a good position to be in. He might have to do a double Naito.
he might,
All right,
just might.
and all of this fun confusion, I forgot. I was looking over my notes and I skipped over night 13. So we are going well rewinding to A block night 13. The one we were
Yeah,
talking
you
about
go
was night
back.
14.
Yeah, you damn right. You go back. I need that. I need that.
And that's the only reason I did it, man. That's the only reason I did it.
I needed that.
Alright. First match out of the block, Kenta lost to Bad Luck Fale in 7 minutes and 20 seconds with a schoolboy. That's right. Bad Luck Fale won with a schoolboy. Kenta is at 4 wins, 3 losses, 8 points. Bad Luck Fale is at 2 wins, 5 losses, 4 points.
Uh,
At this point,
uh,
Kenta's the blooms off the rose.
yeah, but then again, they didn't like his ass the whole way, and especially when he was at one point like 4-0, like he
Yeah,
had a
let's see to
rocket
get
on
to that
his
point.
ass, and he was lighting people up, and you know what? I think it's because of the grind. I think it's that grind. The fact that his body, the fact that he's left WWE, I want to say in February. So these are probably his first real matches in about 6 months, 5, 6 months.
It's his
So
first
you can
real
see.
match in like over 5 years. If we're being
I
honest.
mean,
I mean, considering he was at the Royal Rumble.
yeah, I mean, yeah. So to me, I think this is his first significant action. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So you see that wind, that wind. He's getting tired, and then he's dealing with like these hard hitters and these high flyers and these big guys, and I think the Okada litmus test, when he failed that's when he failed the whole thing. To me, but
Yeah, it's this G1, and we'll get into it maybe a little later. We saw a lot of new faces, and in some regards, it's kind of like a transitional year in the G1 to see like who is our top guys and who are we going with. You know what I mean?
yeah, and that's another thing I was going to ask her, because like considering that we didn't have a Minoru in this, we didn't have a Tamatonga in this, but we got a Jeff Cobb, and I just wanted to see what he thought about Jeff Cobb, because that was like a total left field. Like Lance Archer, you could kind of see, with Davey Boy leaving, they had to do something with him. But
Right.
with Jeff Cobb, that was totally out of left field to me.
I mean, I'm actually quite high on Jeff Cobb. Um, I I can't say for sure if I really think New Japan are using him to the full extent. I know somewhere I've heard rumors that 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 the E want him. I know I've heard it somewhere. I can't remember where though. I know that the WWE has sent out feelers. I think it's when they they went to sign Kushida
Really.
that they showed interest in Jeff Cobb
Mm.
as well because the WWE now in addition to you know we're seeing the 205 guys get a little bit more prominence, but we're also seeing the those big bulky guys get a little bit more TV time, and Jeff Cobb fits that WWE profile. I mean, that's not to say he should. That's not to say New Japan won't realize what they have with Jeff Cobb, and I equivocate Jeff Cobb to somebody like Bam Bigelow.
That's a big compliment.
A big guy that can move in the ring. Like
Um,
but at this point, you have to realize that New Japan has so many names of their own. Like, is Cobb just falling by the wayside
I
at
think he
this point?
is in regards of New Japan, but if I'm Ring of Honor, I would want to lock him down, which Ring of Honor has a difficulty doing, honestly.
True, but I think I can see where you think New Japan is not treating him right, but to put him in this tournament over Yoshihashi, Tama Tonga, who was in it before, Minoru Suzuki, like they had at least 4 blocks, 4 open spots to put in, and for him to even get put in this tournament, it kind of gives to me it gives him a high profile now. The record shows that he's not doing too great, but I mean, the fact that he's going against these people and he's testing his metal to me is a feature in itself,
That's
at
true,
least for me.
but you could look at guys like Shingo Takagi and Lance Archer, who also didn't do too well in this tournament. They didn't get wins, but they had really good matches. They
Right.
performed well in the fact that they put on a show, they had entertaining matches.
Yeah, they were
Jeff
tough
Cobb
outs.
wrestled some of, I would say, we've talked about this before. B Block was more stacked than A Block, which gives them more opportunities to have incredible matches. I don't think he performed that well. I don't think that he had those incredible matches that Shingo or even Lance Archer at this point really had to say, oh, well, we could go with this guy. You know what I mean?
True, but I just look at it from other than like him coming into that. When Moxley was on there, we already knew Moxley was going to be the guy. I think Jeff Cobb, when we found out he was in the G1, he was fighting Matt Taven. He was fighting for the title. And remember, like I said, how whether he won or lost the title debated on whether or not how good he was going to do in this tournament. And to me, I thought that would have been a big thing because if he walked in as a champion, it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? And I think that loss kind of carried momentum into his G1.
Sure. Alright, next match on the card, Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Lance Archer in 10 minutes and 43 seconds with a roll-up. Zack Sabre is at 3 wins, 4 losses, 6 points. Lance Archer is at 2 wins, 5 losses, 4 points. It's kind of interesting how they beat the hell out of each other, considering that they're in the same faction.
Yeah, it's kind of like how the evil Sonata thing, like factions go out the window when it's the G1, which is really good. That's the one thing I like about it.
Yeah,
that's
they're
one
not
thing I like
pulling
about
punches.
it. Yeah, ain't no holding back. Ain't no I'm taking the L for the leader. No Kevin Nash Hogan thing this time. They all go out.
Finger poke of doom.
Nope, finger poke of doom. Nope. But
Next
we already
match,
know. This match don't matter. Next match.
Will Ospreay lost to Evil in 17 minutes and 8 seconds with Everything is Evil. Will Ospreay's at 2 wins, 5 losses, 4 points. Evil's at 4 wins, 3 losses, 8 points.
So long. Thanks for coming.
Yep. Bye-bye. Or at least, especially for Ospreay, because remember, we say he's been floating, man. That dude, like, he should have never been in it, to me. That's just me. But
you remember being the elite with the Young Bucks used to harmless rib, quote unquote, Flip Gordon, and afterwards they would say, "Welcome to Ring of Honor." I kind of feel that that's the same thing with Will Ospreay. Welcome to the G1 Climax.
I mean, but that dude's been floating all over the place because he goes from light heavyweight to never open, like there's no really set for him. He's so fluid with like his weight classes. So yeah, I mean, I could have cared less how he did this tournament.
I'm not, obviously we feel that way. I'm not sure how other people felt about it. Alright, next match. Hiroshi Tanahashi lost to Kota Ibushi in 15 minutes and 53 seconds with the Kamigoye. Tanahashi's at 4 wins, 3 losses, 8 points. Kota Ibushi's at 5 wins, 2 losses, 10 points. First time in quite a while, Tanahashi not in the main event of the G1. Not in the running.
Yeah, he's usually in the running, and I mean, someone has to get up there. I mean, Tanahashi's kind of just like the staple person at this point. He was basically the glue that just held the block together. And for people to beat him, to say that they beat a name, Ibushi kind of didn't need it.
No.
But it made sense for Ibushi to do it because considering, like you said he was practically in the semis last year, so he was a heavy favorite, and it's showing now after like he's been on that roller coaster type deal, and his uptick is actually going at the right time, which hence he's going to be fighting for the winner of the A block. So.
What? Alright, this is the one you've been waiting for, Kaliko.
Oh, his G1. This is his G1.
Kazuchika Okada lost to Sonata in 29 minutes and 47 seconds with a moonsault. Kazuchika Okada, 6 wins, 1 loss, 12 points. Sonata, 3 wins, 4 losses, 6 points.
This was his Super Bowl because he you know how high I am on Sonata, and he just heavily disappointed in this tournament, and the only way he could get retribution was by literally beating Okada and at least getting a title shot. So I kind of figured he was going to do it. I just thought that he would be at least a lot more points than where he's at now, and
Right.
and and it just it's I guess that gives him some kind of respect. I don't, you know how I feel about it,
Yeah.
so that this was it. This was his one, and he got it. God damn it! I think I was high fiving cats when Sonata got this win. Like Jesus.
And your cats were like, we don't care about Sonata.
Yeah, I don't even own a cat, but I found one and just high
Wow.
five. Yeah, but yes, Sonata, like he's a future face. It's just a matter of when they're gonna pull that trigger.
Yeah, you had him winning the block. I had him doing well in the block, but I don't think either of us saw that coming. I actually had
Yeah,
that match to be a draw. I called a draw for that one, but
yeah, I called the win. See that yeah, I called the win, and I just thought that was gonna be the way he gets to get to the block and get to the title. But
coulda, shoulda, woulda.
coulda, shoulda, woulda. Yep.
Alright, we are on night 15. A block again. Sonata defeated Lance Archer in 10 minutes and 28 seconds with the O'Connor roll. Sonata's at 4 wins, 4 losses, 8 points. Lance Archer's at 2 wins, 6 losses, 4 points.
See what happens when you beat the heavyweight champ? You get a goddamn momentum. He should have that should have been his first match of the tournament.
Very true.
Goddamn.
Next match,
Next one.
Hiroshi Tanahashi defeated Bad Luck Fale. No, my bad.
Other way around.
Yeah. Bad Luck Fale defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi in 9 minutes and 58 seconds with a backslide. Tanahashi's at 4 wins, 4 losses, 8 points. Bad Luck Fale's at 3 wins, 5 losses, 6 points. Kudos
See,
to
slowly.
Bad Luck Fale. He's winning matches with actually wrestling moves.
I know. I told you. Remember, we said he beat Will Ospreay. He might be going for that light heavyweight title.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he didn't.
Possible.
He got disqualified.
I know he got DQ'd. He got DQ'd, but we're hoping.
Maybe if it was like, a block of cheese, but
the only A block he's winning is a block of cheese.
Well, after the tournament, Fale and Chase Owens is gonna storm Area 51. Will you be joining them, Scooter?
unfortunately, I cannot catch a bus out there.
What? Why? I thought you had so much fun on Greyhound buses.
By the way, our new sponsor, Greyhound Bus Lines.
Oh, God, no.
I would like to tell you that despite what one host may say happened in Richmond, it never happened. And you can go to the bathroom in peace. And Greyhound! I don't know what the hell I'm doing with that.
I'll save you with this. Will Ospreay defeated Kenta in 16 minutes and 33 seconds with Stormbreaker. Will Ospreay's at 3 wins, 5 losses, 6 points. Kenta's at 4 wins, 4 losses, 8 points. Kenta can't seem to get that up to that 10 points, and Will Ospreay still not doing great, but a win against Kenta seems like something.
See, I think
I mean, go for it.
I think I know what Kenta's problem is.
And that is?
He's not using all caps.
Good point.
He's just regular old Kenta, not Kenta.
Yeah, he's usually Kenta, like Sanada. Yeah. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I get you. You might be on something.
But I was gonna call it the Okada curse because he just got his ass beaten. It ain't been the same since.
I mean,
he boxed with God and God.
I mean, could it also be New Japan trying to humble him?
Well, they out at the starting gate, they really went with him. They like a
Yeah, they
bat out of
did.
hell.
Yeah, because at one point, him and Mox, it was like him, Mox, and Okada were undefeated at one point.
Yeah.
I
They
mean,
were.
like, is it a matter of pride with New Japan making Kenta have to like re-earn like the respect?
I
Mhm.
mean,
They
in
brought
order
him
to get
back
the
heavy.
fans' approval, he might have to lose a couple matches, and I think that's what's happening because
Yeah.
I know when he wrestled Evil, the people were not having it. They were calling bullshit on it.
Yeah. I mean, I want to say after the first 3 matches, after that, they were like, fuck this guy.
True. Very true.
Like, fuck him. And I think, like, now, I mean, it could be right, could be a humbling thing. But when they first started, man, he was like a fucking asteroid. He was untouchable. He was
And
fucking running through everybody.
then who did
The
he
fact
run
that he beat
into?
Tanahashi,
And then who did he run into? Kaliko?
the Rainmaker.
No, he fused with somebody as well.
Oh yeah, Rainmaker, aka Okanos, and Okanos snapped his ass in half.
Yeah, it seems like Sanador was the only one that aimed for the head.
Yeah, see, Sanad Thor aimed for the head. I like it. Oh God! And for those that don't know, I nicknamed him Okanos because he basically eliminated half the block by himself. So he snapped his fingers and basically snapped half the block. So, baby Thanos thing right there. See, giving y'all some marbles.
Yeah. Well, multi-platform.
Multi. Going deep. Under. Like pregnant ant under.
Next match, Kota Ibushi defeated Zack Sabre Jr. in 15 minutes and 46 seconds with the Kamagoye. Kota Ibushi's at 6 wins, 3 losses, 12 points. Zack Sabre Jr. is at what? 4 wins, 5 losses at this point.
Yeah, you don't care. You hate Zack Sabre Jr., so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Like every time
he's
Zack
out.
Sabre Jr. lost, you just didn't care. Yeah, he's gone. But the big story is Ibushi. Now he's essentially going to be facing our next guy in the next match, Okada, and whoever wins that's winning the block. So
Yeah, Okada defeated Evil in 27 minutes, flat, with the Rainmaker. Okada's at 7 wins, 1 loss, 14. Evil's at 4 wins, 4 losses, 8 points. Honestly, a little disappointing. Evil was up there. He had an opportunity to actually win the block.
yeah,
And, you know, again, he just can't seem to get up there. Kind of like Sonata at this point.
but he did something Sonata couldn't do, or he did something Evil couldn't do, beat Okada. So
Yeah, I
I
know
mean,
you were gonna hang your cap on that one.
I'm hanging my cap. Evil may have beat Sonata, but Sonata beat the Rainmaker Okanos. So I hang my hat on that, and the fact that he'll even, let's say, is shit. Okada loses, and hell, that means only one person getting the title shot. That's fucking Sonata. So the fact that they put him in that position to give him that loss speaks highly.
True.
Speaks highly
Kind
of
of like Evil a couple years ago.
Yeah. So now I just wonder how it's going to be. Is it going to be like Ibushi beats Okada, loses the final, or Okada just runs through? Because we've been here before with Okada when Okada faced Omega, and Omega beat him and won the battle, but lost the war, losing the G1. So it's going to be interesting to see how that match pans out.
We are now on night 16 of the G1 Climax tournament. B block action again. Toru Yano defeated Taichi in 5 minutes and 4 seconds with a countout. Yano's at 4 wins, 4 losses, 8 points. Taichi's at 3 wins, 5 losses, 6 points. Yano, we talked about Taichi's G1. Toru Yano beat Jay White, Naito, and John Moxley. Like the 3 main guys in the whole fucking tournament. And he beat them all.
Yeah, that's the G. Somewhere Yoshihashi is pissed. Because Yoshi couldn't do that in his dreams. And you got Yano beating the 3 prime players for the B block final. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yano having the G1 of his whole career. He could retire from the G1 saying, hey, I beat Naito, White, and Moxley all in the same damn time.
Yeah. I loved how he actually won this match. He rolled Taichi and Kanemaru into the ring apron and just let them sit there with each other, being all intimate and whatnot.
You know what's crazy is, like, if you had told me Yano had 8 points after this, I would have been like, hell no.
And still in contention at this
Still in contention.
Yeah,
he needs some shit to pop off. He would basically need, like, he would need a miracle, but he's in there.
Yeah. What do you think about Toru Yano's G1 so far, Scooter?
I mean, it's been impressive. I mean, after night 16, I mean, unfortunately, his chances were cemented. Even with I think they were even cemented. The night before, but the previous B block night. But I mean, it's always good to see somebody you don't expect to go the distance, and let alone beat the top 3 guys in the tournament.
Yeah.
And like I said before, I really think this is more about being able to say, "Oh, I beat you then. Oh, I'll be able to beat you in the future."
Because he's done it to Suzuki in the past.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Next match, Jeff Cobb lost to Tetsuya Naito in 12 minutes 47 seconds. Destino. Jeff Cobb's at 3 wins, 5 losses, 6 points. Naito's at 5 wins, 3 losses, 10 points. Took him a while, but he got there.
Yeah, he's now, after starting out 0-2, he's been hot like fire ever since. His only real loss came to Moxley. So think about that. Like, he could have had this wrapped if he had to beat Yano and Taichi.
Yeah. Yeah. The course of Yano and Taichi.
Yeah, he could have had this thing wrapped, but now he's at that point where he still could get there. He would have to beat. He would need Moxley to lose, and he'll have to beat Jay White to win the B block. So, yeah. And the good thing is he has the benefit of going on last, so he can kind of see what Moxley does.
Yeah, I find it a little funny that A block it comes down to 2 guys and 3 different scenarios. A block, B block, it comes down to 4 guys in 8 different scenarios that could happen.
Pretty much.
I mean, actually, technically, I think you can whittle that down to 6, considering you have Naito and White still left to face each other.
Yeah, Naito White's a wash, but Goto's still in the mix, and we got to get to that match because the next match is
Hiroki Goto defeated Jon Moxley in 8 minutes and 38 seconds with a GTR. Hiroki Goto's had 5 wins, 3 losses, 10 points. Jon Moxley, 5 wins, 3 losses, 10 points.
so that's crazy. Moxley's gonna need White and Goto to lose because they're the tiebreaker.
Yeah, and going to what, Scooter was saying a little while ago about humbling Kenta. You can't really say this, even though Jon Moxley has 3 losses at this point, you could make an argument for all 3 matches. He lost by count out against Yano, which doesn't really count.
Ask Yano if that shit count.
Well, no, I mean as of being humbled, like he was talking about. Jay White with a lot of interference from Gato, so you could say, the controversy got to him. And this was really his first, clean loss against Goto. You know what I mean? So they're protecting him.
In a sense, but as I said, his real match is going to be staring him dead in the face because the guy he took the title from is Final Night. So I think Juice is going to give that shit everything he's got. So he's going to have to especially starting off with the match, Juice is going to be so emotionally invested in that match. So Mox if I were Mox, try to go for the win. If you can't, hope Jay White loses, hope Goto loses, get your drawing, move on. So,
and that brings us to the next match. Juice Robinson lost to Jay White in 23 minutes and 1 second with the JTO, the Juice tap out. Juice is at 3 wins, 5 losses, 6 points. Jay White's at 5 wins, 3 losses, 10 points.
and Juice just faded, man. He faded.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. I wanted him to get to that 8 points just to say he did significantly better.
I mean, if he beats Mox, it's 8. So I think he can still get there. I just think he did better this year. He did better than last year by far. But
in terms of match quality,
in terms of match quality, yeah, and that's a huge step. I mean,
sure.
That's a big step, especially considering last year he was on that whole "do I belong here" shit. So I mean, it's an improvement, but now his G1 final is staring him in the face in the form of Jon Moxley. The same way Sonata's G1 final was Okano's. His is Moxley at this point.
Yeah,
he's just going to give it all the hell he got.
It's funny how 1 year changes both guys. Last year, since their last match, Jay White, he won the IWGP Championship, became leader of Bullet Club, main event in Madison Square Garden. Juice Robinson broke his hand, got a haircut, formed a new faction that died in a week, and won the United States Championship off Cody.
And then took a L next to Moxley. So I mean, his downturn was more different than Jay White's. Although I think Jay White, you remember we were talking earlier, I felt he got the shitty end of the stick with him having the title. Yeah. I felt like they could have gave him a little run with it. But they gave it back to Okada, rightfully so. I mean, who wouldn't want to give it to him? But I just felt like Jay White could have had more with it. But like we always say, New Japan always run it back. So I wouldn't be surprised if you won beating Bushi in the final just to run that back. So
Right.
just to run back what happened in MSG. So
Last match to talk about, Tomohiro Ishii lost to Shingo Takagi in 22 minutes 41 seconds with Last of the Dragon. Ishii's at 4 wins, 4 losses, 8 points. Shingo Takagi is at 3 wins, 5 losses, 6 points. Yeah, exactly what
which
you
means,
expect with two powerhouses.
yep, beating the shit out of each other, and now they're gonna have to do it again because they're Ishii being a never open weight. You already know Takagi is gonna be coming. So
Yeah. So, Scooter, I know that you haven't been watching the G1 as closely as me and Kaliko has. So, what's your take? Who do you think's gonna win? Obviously, we had our picks from night one before night one.
and shit changes.
Yeah.
Yes. I honestly I do not see John Moxley winning Block B. I see him coming close, but I just don't see them giving it to him. Like I said before, Naito White, whoever wins that match is likely going to be the winner of Block B. And I think Okada's got Block A in hand. And I think we're destined for another Okada White match.
So you're going with Jay White to win B block, Okada to win A block.
And you know what? I'm gonna say Jay White wins the whole thing.
All right, you and me are on the same boat, man.
Oh, well, obviously my guy's out.
Yeah.
But here's
he went
what I'm gonna
overboard
say.
halfway through the journey.
Here's what I'm gonna say. If Ibushi wins, Jay White's gotta win it.
And why do you
If
say
Okada, and the reason I say that is because usually when they deal with people losing championships, they usually go through a low before they come back and get to the title. You see what I'm saying? So like,
True.
Say for instance when Okada lost the title, and then he went through hell, like losing Gato, having to change, like this whole transformation himself before he came back to get the title. The same could be said for AJ White, considering that he was on top of the world. He was the number one guy and probably a number two wrestling company in the world. Gets to MSG, wets the bed, couldn't get it done against Okada, and is probably the biggest match of his career up at that point as a champion. And that was his first title defense. So he's running through this hell of having to get it back to that point. And the only way he could get back to that point was through winning the G1. And it's an interesting match as well because you know this story. It's been on the underbelly, but they usually call back stories really well. That's one thing I like about New Japan. They'll have an event happen, like when Gato turned on Okada, and that was what, like a year and a half ago?
No, it's been a little less than a year.
I'll give it that. But
I think October he turned on him.
October
or September. It was King of Pro Wrestling.
Right, it'll be a year. So the fact that they're gonna call that back, it to me is imperative because I don't see Naito. Naito already got his main event shot. And I'm with Scooter. I don't see Mox winning it. I I mean, even though like they had him front running the whole way, but if Okada wins, he's winning the whole thing, and he's either gonna pick Naito or White. If Ibushi wins, Jay White's winning straight up, and that's what I think.
Well, you know, I already picked my block
Yeah, you
from night
picked
one.
that guy. But you weren't that confident 3 weeks ago. But I will give you your round of applause, sir.
Thank you.
Round of applause.
Yeah, both my guys are in contentions. Jay White to win B block, Kota Ibushi to win A block, Jay White to win the whole shebang.
Yeah. I couldn't even remember who I had winning A block or B block. I think I had White or Naito, one or the other. But
Ren Narita.
No, he's a junior. Shudo Uno.
Umino. Clark Connor.
Yeah,
Clark
see,
Connor's
that
actually
guy.
a really good wrestler. Alright,
All right.
and we will be covering all things G1 the last 3 nights next week on Wrestling with Entertainment. It is now time for our next segment. We are wrestling with SummerSlam preview. SummerSlam's gonna be in Canada this year.
And they did Canada the disservice with this card. I'm just saying, like that's fucked up.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah, oh Canada.
Canada, eh?
And
Well, they could have added in Canada or Canada.
and
One of those.
Canada. Canada.
I just
Dude, got it.
I just pulled this
Yeah.
card up like yesterday and was looking through it, and
Yeah,
it's very gimmicky.
It is. And
Like this would be like a WrestleMania card like 3 years ago, in my opinion.
true. And to
Yeah.
me, this is disappointing because I always say, like, I've always been saying this, like, WrestleMania is the casual people's WrestleMania. And to me, SummerSlam was like the wrestlers' WrestleMania, like the wrestling fan WrestleMania. And to me, this is where like a lot of memorable matches went down at SummerSlam. You know, where you're thinking Triple H, Rock, Hard Bulldog, Punk Cena, Edge Taker, Cena Orton. Like you know that they have usually a good string of matches, and to me, this card is rather disappointing.
Yep. What was you saying, Scooter?
I was almost gonna say this is like almost like a in your house SummerSlam.
In your house, Canada.
Canadian Stampede.
Part 2.
Alright, so let's get into it. The Cruiserweight Championship match. Drew Gulak versus Oni Lorcan. How is Drew Gulak gonna win this match, Kaliko?
Squash.
Wrong one. It was
No.
Drew Gulak, Kaliko.
Oh, wrong one. With his PowerPoint.
Let's rewind. Cruiserweight Championship match. Drew Gulak versus Oni Lorcan. How is Drew Gulak gonna win, Kaliko?
With his PowerPoint presentation. There we go.
We got that.
Dug in the bag. I had to dig in the bag.
Yep.
Man. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but you are one true Gulak.
But personally, I like Gulak. I mean, I always say 205. 205 been low key good, and people just don't pay attention to that shit because of the weight limits and shit. But
Honestly, I never knew Oni Lockin was on 205, so seeing him get this match is a little like, huh, to me.
They threw his ass in there like months ago.
Yeah.
like he was in 205 Live before Chad Gable went to 205 Live. So.
Yeah. Okay, so I know nothing.
Told you, man. Pay attention, man. It's low key entertaining though. It's like the cruiserweights, like they put on shows, but I think all the flips and shit are done by like guys like Seth Rollins and shit now, so it kind of takes the mystique out of it. But you know.
All right, next match, Trish Stratus is wrestling Charlotte Flair. Honestly, I didn't know that she was going to wrestle her until I watched Monday Night Raw this week.
I mean, you kind of saw that coming because Bayley challenged Ember, Natalya won the triple threat or fatal four-way, whatever the hell it was. So Charlotte, you knew damn well they were not going to put like their most marketable women's wrestler out without a match, and they gave her a match where it's like a fantasy match, kind of like the Shawn Michaels Hogan Rock type deal. It'll be interesting to see how Trish does because she didn't do too good when she was last in the ring. So
I find it a little gimmicky, if I'm being honest.
I mean,
it is. It is, but to Charlotte, it's lateral because you can make an argument she should be in all the title matches.
Yeah. I mean, I was there for Hogan Michaels. I went that was in Virginia. That was in DC, but the Raw was in Virginia the next night. And I used to go to Virginia on vacation all the time, but I based my vacation around SummerSlam in 2005 for Hogan Michaels, and what happened after that was one of the worst periods in wrestling. That fall 2005 to December 2007 period, where the only good thing to come out of that was one night stand happened previously. There was nothing good that came out of that the year. So I mean,
I liked the 2006 and 2007. I thought those were pretty good years, in my opinion.
I mean, aside from Mysterio, winning the title, for the first time. I mean,
D-Generation X.
Yeah, but that was a watered down D-Generation X.
Yeah, that was like the fucking Nick Jr. DX.
I honestly disagree with that in some regards, but we'll get into that another time.
But as for Trish and Charlotte, I mean, yeah, it's a dream match. It's a dream match with very little build, but I mean,
oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I want my guy.
Not taking calls.
He should be there too. I thought he was gonna come out. I was waiting on the flight to flash, but
Damn it, we're gonna get sued. Stop talking about it.
But it's like I feel like since SummerSlam is in Canada, they're trying to get as many Canadian heroes on this damn match, considering they got Trish and Natalya, so they're basically in their backyard.
That's about
and
it.
Owens and KO.
If they could get Bret Hart to come, that would be great. Resurrect Jim Neidhart from the grave, if it's possible at this point. But he'd only come to NXT. Jim Neidhart.
Who?
Jim Neidhart.
Who?
Jim Neidhart.
Get it? He was who?
Yeah, huh?
Who? The fuck?
You never knew. In 1995, there was a masked wrestler in the WWE.
Oh,
by the name of who?
Yeah, that's right.
He was who?
wrestled one match against Mark Marrow on.
Yeah, you're right.
And he was who? That's why I was like, yeah. And I was like, it's gonna go over. It's gonna go over. It's gonna go over. It didn't go over.
I mean, they were supposed to be. They were supposed to have Aleister Black, Sami Zayn, but instead they did that. They did it on. They did it this week.
I mean, it's gonna this shit's gonna be like 80 hours long. So yeah.
Yeah, and they did the women's tag team match on Raw as well.
Mm-hmm. So who's winning that match? Trish or Charlotte?
Charlotte.
What about you, Kaliko?
Yeah, Charlotte has to win.
Yeah, Charlotte.
Come on, baby.
All right, next match: Finn Balor versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt.
They could have went so many different directions with Bray, but I guess it's just good to give him his first win so he can start terrorizing. So
I mean,
Bray's winning. So
I mean, the question is, will green be a creative color this time?
Well,
true.
That's a "Don't hug me, I'm scared" callback.
Yep. Or I'm hoping Bray comes and do the Muscle Man dance. I just want him to do the Muscle Man dance one time.
well,
And then,
you know,
the Fiend.
it seems like they were doing a pretty decent job of bringing Bray Wyatt back up with, the Firefly Funhouse that seemed to be working. But then they brought him on live TV, and he's just doing the same shit he did when he was with Harper and Row. Harper and the other
In
one.
a sense, I just think they try to make him more predictable now because, like, he's not having a particular target. I think Balor was like the first target, but he just comes out when he feels like it. Like he attacked Mick Foley, he attacked Kurt Angle. You know.
It
He's
means
just like,
nothing, and it doesn't build anything.
Yeah,
in my
but
opinion.
the fact that he attacked Foley with the mandible claw.
Was a big. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna. I thought when he was gonna attack Angle, he was gonna maybe put him in the ankle lock, or something, and do this thing where he's absorbing the souls of the people he attacks. There's going to be something in this match where Bray Wyatt just drops down to his knees and covers his ears like he's trying to fight something.
That would be really cool if they actually did that.
So
you're basically saying Bray Wyatt's going to be like Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Fiend in demon colors.
Ooh. Yeah.
That would be some creepy shit. That would be dope.
Yeah.
Hey, Daddy.
I think that. So, 10 out of 10, Finn Balor's not winning this match.
Of course
Probably not. I mean, Balor and SummerSlam.
Well, he's done well in SummerSlam.
Aside from the first SummerSlam he ever participated in, yeah.
Well, he still won the match, though.
Yeah, he won the match, but he ain't winning this one. So he might as well get the hell on up. Next, out. I think it's unanimous.
Kevin Owens is wrestling Shane McMahon, and if Kevin Owens loses, his career ends. That's not going to happen because he has a 5-year contract. Am I right?
Yeah, and true. And this is the Canada Feel Good story. Yep. Owens winning.
Yep, Owens is winning.
I predict he wins with a sharpshooter.
Nah, I gotta give him the stunner. They're gonna basically. This is basically like the watered down Stone Cold McMahon, dude.
Kind of no.
Like watered down, watered. Like when I say watered down, we're talking like watered, like liquor mixed with water, watered down.
How between the liquor and water ratio? What is the ratio, Kaliko?
90% in water, 1% alcohol, and 10% BS.
I thought I was gonna say 90% poutine,
Or yeah, no.
or three
Shit.
or 316% poutine.
There you go. See, I should have.
Poutine 316.
See, this is why we have Scooter right here. He's gotta get him to be my writer.
Yeah, he knows what's up.
He knows what's up.
Yeah, Bailey is fighting Ember Moon for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
This one's a little bit of a toss-up, but I think Bailey's gonna win. I don't think Ember. They don't do good with like women that come up from NXT, especially if they were like former champions. Like Ember should be a bigger force than what she is now. And Bailey, hell, they're just putting Bailey back on track, so
Yeah.
they can't take that shit off the rails.
All
So
of these women are from NXT.
yeah, but you got to think Bailey got the title. You got to think Bailey was like she won the tag title. They lost it. Then she was just basically waddling without her tag team partner. They broke them up. And in one night, it changed because she won the briefcase. Big Booty Bailey won the briefcase and got the championship. So they're basically building her back up as a single star because they're lacking the star power on the SmackDown side with the women. So she's basically the torchbearer.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Scooter?
I agree with Kaliko. They've kind of like filtered out with Ember Moon. I don't know. I don't think the title's gonna change hands. I don't think this is the end of Bailey Ember Moon. I think we might get one more match out of this to fully like develop whether or not Ember Moon is going full heel. But Bailey's walking out. Bailey's walking out with the title.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, this could have been Bailey Charlotte. And I think that probably would have been a bigger match. But I guess they're giving Ember that chance. And that's in quotation marks. But,
Ember's been there for over a year at this point.
Right. But you got to think about this. Like, that's the same thing. Like, Ember and Asuka, there's really no difference between them two, other than Asuka winning the title. Like, randomly winning the title.
I think they gave her a chance, and they... it's funny with Vince McMahon, what he wants to do and what he does. It's like, he's like, nobody that doesn't speak English won't win my belt, pal. But then he gives it to Asuka. We're trying something new.
Oh, because he saw the crowd got fucking hot as hell when they were trying to figure out who to pick. And it was like, shit, you got to give people a chance, though. Like, you won't know how they do it unless you put them in the water. And that's the bad part about WWE. They don't really put a lot of people in the water.
Yeah. So, are we all in agreement? Bailey's beating Ember Moon?
Hell yeah.
Yep.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches, and we already all agree on all the matches. Somebody better pick somebody else, damn it. Raw Women's Championship match. Becky Lynch versus Natalya.
I see potential in this. Considering it's a submissions match, I think that if they do a Toronto screw job type deal, I think that could be huge. I think that could be huge, like a Toronto screw job on Natalya, because Becky's not losing. She's the fucking cover of the video game. She ain't losing that shit.
Yeah.
But I could see like a a preeminent ringing of the bell when she hasn't submitted. I could see it. When Natalia won, I was like, oh my god, they could really do this, but we'll see what they do. I think that would be intriguing, and that would give them something to keep the feud going longer. Because let's face it, this is like Natalia's last shot. As much as I like her, they don't really like use her as much as I think they should. But I just see that part. I can see the screw job. That's all I can see.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna just call it Becky Lynch wins clean. Last match for Natalia. They're not gonna continue the feud.
Yeah, I don't think I think it's gonna be a clean win for Becky.
Yeah. I don't see Natalia having a continued rivalry with Becky Lynch after this. I see it's just they're giving her this match because it's in Canada and she's Canadian at this point.
I mean, they could have gave her any match in Canada because she's Canadian.
Well, if this was in Mexico, the main event would be Rey Mysterio for the championship, Cien against Kofi for the other championship, and Lucha House Party in 3 other different matches. But we're not getting it's in Canada, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it, but I'm just thinking I could see a Toronto screw job. I'm the only one. I'm in agreement that Becky's gonna win. I just think if it's potential there, I doubt it, but there's something there.
Alright, next match. Everybody's in agreement, Becky Lynch versus Natalia.
Yes, of course.
Damn it. United States Championship match. AJ Styles versus Ricochet.
An interesting match. I feel like the first match didn't go as long as it should. I think this gives time for Ricochet to get his star up, his name up. I think Ricochet wins. Because he lost it too abruptly, and who else for him to beat than AJ Styles, who's practically like he could wrestle a broomstick and get people over. So I mean,
Yeah, I mean, based on the way they've been hot-shotting the United States title over the past couple of months, and the fact that one, they've got Gallows and Anderson with the tag titles. I'm gonna have to say that AJ's retaining.
Yes! Finally, disagreement.
you're the tiebreaker. So you're agreeing with somebody.
Yes, but that's why there's 3 of us. You know what? I'm calling disqualification on both guys. There. Haha.
You boo.
There you go.
Boo.
In all honesty, I'm gonna agree with you, Kaliko. I'm gonna say that it would make sense if Ricochet would win the championship over AJ Styles because it's a big win against a big name on a big show. And I think that's kind of what they've been building up to this point anyway. And if AJ Styles loses to Ricochet, it's not the ending of the world. And at this point, he could challenge Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship at the next paid preview, in my opinion.
Yep. Pretty much.
Alright, next match. Dolph Ziggler versus Goldberg. What's your favorite fit, Kaliko?
Squash. This is Goldberg winning. I mean, yeah. I like Goldberg. I like him. UGA alum, former Atlanta Falcon. He's autographed my title, but we already know where this is going.
This, in my opinion, is a match we never knew we didn't want to see.
I know. Somewhere the Iconics are like, we got pushed for this?
Yeah. This match is up there with Stone Cold versus James Ellsworth. Xavier Woods versus Undertaker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Kevin Owens versus a Stairmaster.
That's a main event anywhere in the world, and you know it.
I know. Somewhere Nakamura's like, what the fuck? But oh well. But everybody's in agreement, Goldberg, right?
Yep.
I mean, the logic behind Paul Heyman booking this match, basically calling Goldberg the Bruno Sammartino of the modern age.
Oh, fuck no. Who said that?
Yes, he actually said that. He came in, he said that he sees Goldberg as the Bruno Sammartino when Bruno was late in his career. When Bruno would come in, Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman. Okay, I don't know what Paul Heyman's smoking.
But Paul,
like,
Bruno would come in and wrestle the younger talent in his later career.
Daddy, I want this one.
Next match, Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton.
Daddy.
I think this is the match I'm probably more invested in because this is the match that actually has reality in it.
Daddy,
Yes.
In a personal touch.
Daddy, apple.
Apple. But to me, I feel that Kofi needs this win more than any other than WrestleMania. This is probably the biggest win he needs because he took it back to 2009 and how he should have been somewhere, and Orton held him back, and this just goes to show that he belongs as up there with the greats. That's just me personally, and that's just for like Kofi and his legacy. I mean, his legacy's already set, but to get his name up there in that echelon, he has to beat a person like Randy Orton.
And your thoughts, Scooter?
Yes, I agree. Kofi definitely needs this victory. I think Kofi's gonna get this victory. I think this victory is really gonna cement Kofi as a WWE champion. Considering that we got I believe Hell in a Cell coming up. I honestly I honestly think we're going to be looking at the destruction of the New Day.
Interesting.
And I think it's going to start here, and it's going to slowly build. But Kofi to win.
Alright, well, I think I might be in the only majority. I think Randy Orton's gonna win. And that would make Kofi chasing the championship, which everybody knows it's more about the chase than the actual title run. And then, he's not only challenging for the belt, but also that win against Randy Orton. You know what I mean?
I get that. I just think that if he's losing that belt, it shouldn't. I mean, Orton gains nothing from it, right? Like,
but
what does he gain?
Kofi more.
I mean, Kofi's already built at this point. Like, he's been in long enough. He's built at this point. But I just think that this match is more for him to be up in that echelon because because let's just say it, like Kofi, people hasn't been taking Kofi's reign really seriously. although he's been fighting like some quality opponents, it doesn't get serious until it gets serious to him. And to me, this is probably the most serious match, not only in storyline, but personally in his life. And this is the past that he has to deal with to overcome it. Just that's just my perspective on it.
That's true. But, Kaliko, you've called this the Wrestlers WrestleMania, SummerSlam. I've always called this the Heels WrestleMania.
The heel WrestleMania, yeah.
Because the heels always win at SummerSlam, as long as I could remember. And, we got mostly baby faces winning on this card, with maybe the exception of Bray Wyatt. And
I mean, Charlotte's a heel. Yeah, Charlotte's a heel. Gulak's a heel.
So Randy Orton is as heelless as it gets. He's a heel. He needs to win against the baby face.
I see that, but I just think Kofi.
Alright, so we got 2 Kofis and 1 Randy Orton. Am I right about this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, last match, Universal Championship match, Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins.
A rubble. Where's the rubble?
This the way it's been looked, it screams Seth, right? Like,
Oh yeah, without doubt.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously building towards Seth, which means Brock will win.
You going with Brock?
I'm gonna go with Brock.
Huh.
yeah, because if he's going with Brock winning, that means Brock's going to be off, which means the U.S. title's important, which means it's held by a heel, which makes sense. But we're going the other way with Ricochet winning, and then we're going to go with I'm going with Ricochet winning and Seth winning.
Unless they seriously pull something like out of their ass, I don't know how the WWE will be able to differentiate this from
WrestleMania.
Yeah, like you can't have Seth come in and do the same stuff over and over again, which makes me think somebody's coming back.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, keep in mind, Roman's got nothing going on.
Except for being run over by a car.
Exactly. But there's certain people that ain't got nothing going on. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But I would think Seth would win. I mean, to me, he would win. I think Seth wins that.
Yeah. I think, who do we think's gonna, who do we think ran over, Roman Reigns?
What's Buddy Murphy said Rowan did it on SmackDown.
Yeah, he said Rowan, which supposed to be allegedly Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan was supposed to make some sort of a career
altering
announcement.
Yep. And he never got to do it. You know what? I heard people kept saying that the rumor was that he was going to go to 205 Live. I had to laugh my ass off at that one, boy. I was like, "Whoo, shit, that's funny as hell." That's funny as hell.
Where's the baseball?
But
Daddy, where's the baseball?
yeah, I think Daniel Bryan did it. It's to get Daniel Bryan like even worse as a heel, probably.
Yeah.
All right.
Do. Hello? James?
Did we lose Jay?
Did we? I think we lost him.
Uh-oh.
Or he can hear us or we can't hear him.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Well,
So, you guys,
There he
there he is.
did you,
Jay,
So-
you're going in and out there. There we go.
yeah, what?
There you go. We weren't hearing you for a bit.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Alright, so you guys are on the kick that it's Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I disagree. I know who it is.
Mitch?
No, he's on a bench in Roppongi.
It's Rikishi.
Yeah, it's
Rikishi.
Rikishi.
He did it for The Rock.
Yeah, he did for
He did it.
Rock.
He did it for the Usos? Since they can't drive?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I still love Jimmy, though. Still my man.
Well, it's the only one that makes sense. Rikishi is known for hitting motherfuckers with a car.
Do the taco.
I mean, he's hitting his nephew? Like, that's some crazy shit.
Well, why the fuck not?
Why not? Anything can happen in the WWE.
Yeah, damn it.
Watch it be Austin.
Ooh, that'd be something.
That would be something.
No,
If they pushed it to an Austin Roman match.
John Moxley.
Oh, if it's Moxley, boy, he's pulling the wool over everybody.
Yeah. No, nope. Nope, that's CM Punk.
Ooh, okay. We're getting somewhere now.
Yeah. CM Punk. Okay. CM Punk. Trying to think who else. Drew. We know damn well it ain't Drew. Who needs to be coming back? Who needs to come back? Because they always got that surprise return, so we're trying to think about it.
Matt or Jeff Hardy.
Nah.
I need Caesar.
Well, going back to Seth and Brock, I'm gonna call Seth, honestly. I think Seth should win.
Yes. So we're all, well, I think we're all in agreement.
No, Scooter's with Brock,
Who's
right?
going with Brock?
Gotta go with Brock.
Oh, he's going with Brock. So yeah, so 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah. Well, except for the last, 2-3 matches, we are pretty much all on the same page.
I know I need to now take these picks to Vegas so I can get some money.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet on these matches if it was me.
Shit. Get this money, fam.
The only one I would be comfortable betting on is possibly Okada at this point.
True that. But it's still fun. Just play a little parlay, you'll be all right.
Yep. Alright, and that shall do it for our coverage of SummerSlam 2019. Next week, Saturday evening, we will be covering NXT TakeOver, Toronto, SummerSlam, and the last 3 days of the G1. We have a lot on our plate next week, don't we, Kaliko?
Oh, yes. And then we'll be heading into everyone's favorite event, AEW. There we go.
There we go. Let's just join the chat. Yeah, even though it's the last of the G1 and SummerSlam coming up, there's still a lot coming up. There's All Out, But AEW on TV, SmackDown, like
On Fox.
yeah, like we said, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan.
Oh, and don't even forget NWA doing their own TV show now.
Yep.
They were already on TV, if I'm not mistaken.
More that was more like in conjunction with ROH a little bit, kind of using there. But they're like Corrigan's taking it back to going back to Atlanta, doing it like the old school USWA style. So be on the lookout.
I get NWA wrestling from Hollywood.
That's championship wrestling from Hollywood.
Yeah,
That-
championship wrestling from Hollywood.
There's also championship wrestling from Arizona, which, believe it or not, I just recently captioned the match between Peter Avalon and David Arquette.
Oh, awesome! How's he doing in the wrestling now?
I mean, Arquette lost the match, and his friggin' finisher is the crown from Ready to Rumble.
Took that Ready to Rumble shit serious.
Yeah, but you know, you gotta commend the guy. He's living up to being a world champion.
True. Can't. I mean, as a former WCW heavyweight champion, he better.
Yeah.
It's like a balloon.
That's how I do it for our show for this week. If you're listening to us on YouTube, please like, subscribe, comment. It literally takes a second. And to hit that subscribe, hit that like button. Say something nice about the show. Say something bad about the show. We don't care. Just fucking comment.
Exactly.
Yeah, and if you're joining us on Castbox, thank you for joining us. I hope that you will come back next week. Like, subscribe, comment on there. I honestly don't know. I've only been on there a couple times in the last week.
3, 2,
And
1.
another big announcement. I have a Twitter handle now.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Coming to the 21st century.
Yeah, I suppose it was just time, with the show and everything. I am at James J993. Where can people find you, Kaliko?
I am Kaliko.
And Scooter, where can people find you?
At Scooter Dust.
Yeah. If you want to take Kaliko to task on some of his picks or choices, because he will definitely fight that good fight against you.
True that.
Yeah, and if you see you getting double teamed at this point, put my name into just throw my name in there and I'll rip him a new one with you.
Oh, we're gonna go free Kurt style.
Yeah, tag team. Alright. For Kaliko Yachts, Scooter Dust, I am James J, and this has been Wrestling Wit. Entertainment.